Hi, happy Webtoon Wednesday. I want to first do a shout out to Lynn Moore. Thank you for recommending me the webtoon called Who is the Prey? This is a fantastic psychological romance that I wasn't sure how I was going to like it because I'm always hesitant when I get recommendations because I've gotten some where I was a shooketh and it was definitely something that I wasn't expecting to read nor something I would normally read, but this webtoon is fantastic. I'm not going to say any of the names of the characters because I know I cannot pronounce them properly, so we're just gonna go right in. Now, this is our main female character. In the beginning of the story, she is in college. She's deciding to take a shortcut to a party where her boyfriend's at, and she thinks he's going to propose. Now, on the way there, as she's driving through the woods where the shortcut is, she comes across two men, or one looks like a boy, really, but she comes across two guys, and she makes the decision to stop the car because one of them appears to be injured. When she does this, another man comes out from the woods and hits her in the back of the head. Before we go on any further, I do need to let everyone know that this webtoon has rape in it, it has sexual assaults, it has blackmail, there's violence, there's murder, there's attempts of suicide. So there's a lot that goes on in this webtoon that definitely make it not kid friendly. As for the sex scenes, you don't actually see sex. So even though it kind of leads you to believe, like you'll see like a back or something, you don't see any breasts or nipples or crotches or even butt cheeks. So the artist leads you to the impression that they're having sex without actually showing sex, so it's not really like smut. Okay? Does that make sense? Okay, now I'm going to continue with the story. So when she wakes up from her attack, this guy who is the leader basically tells her that she's gonna die. He has no purpose for her anymore. And one of his underlings asks to have the girl first. So basically he's asking the guy with white hair if he could rape this woman, just for like one good powwow because he's horny. So our main character guy's like, yeah, sure, why not? Do what you want. The girl is able to convince him to have sex in the car. When they go to have sex in the car, she kills him. Luckily, she has like a knife in the back seat where my car doesn't have them, but like older cars had like where there's like a basket or a pocket in the back seat, right? That's hanging on the driver's seat and the passenger driver's seat. I don't know what it's called, but they have pockets there. So she remembered that her boyfriend put like a pocket knife or some kind of knife in there because they were having fruit and eating. So she grabs it, and as this guy's about to rape her, he's like laying on top of her so he can't see, but she stabs him in the neck so he can die. She doesn't push his body out of the car. She doesn't do any of that. She hops directly into the front seat, starts the car, and like hits the gas as hard as she can to get the hell out of there. When she does this, she almost runs over the guy with white hair, who is the leader. She almost runs him over, but the guy who knocked her unconscious pushes him out of the way and saves his life. And then he dies because he got hit by a car. Once you go forward in the story, you find that the guy with white hair has been executed because he did terrible things. And within the next chapter, she is like a school counselor in college. She's been married for a couple years. Like, she's moved on with life, even though she still has nightmares from the experience from almost being raped and for killing someone. She still thinks about it. She still thinks about the guy with white hair who said she was going to die and didn't care anything about her. So when she goes to school one day, she is told to put her car in the parking garage. So she goes and moves her car, and she comes across this guy with white hair who looks, she doesn't see him at first, but she hears him. And his voice sounds exactly the same as the guy who was executed like 2-3 years ago. So she's tripping balls. She's running back to the college. She doesn't want to see him. She wants to get away. She's calling the detective that was on the case before, trying to get a hold of him, getting a hold of her husband, trying to figure out what's going on. And the guy, the white-haired guy, is saying that he's not who she thinks he is, and she must be making a mistake, and like he's terribly sorry. He's trying to be a complete gentleman. Okay. This girl is still terrified of him because of how much he looks like the guy who ordered her to die. After that point, there's a series of events that happens that leads her, this married woman, having dinner with this guy with white hair. Now, this guy with white hair is, I don't know if he's older or if he's the same age, but I want to say is like a mafia boss or like a Yakuza boss or something. He's like really high in the ranking of criminals, but they camouflage their criminal activities as like a corporation. But it doesn't matter. Either way, he is very powerful, very wealthy, and it turns bad for our main female character. When she's having dinner with him, he roofies her or gives her some kind of sleeping medication in her alcohol. So when she wakes up from being drugged, our main male character shows her pictures of the dead body of the guy who she stabbed in the neck. Okay. And then our white-haired man proceeds to have 3 men come in, restrain her. I'm pretty sure they drugged her again, unless I misunderstood the picture, but it looked like they forced her to take some kind of drug. She didn't pass out though. Okay, so there's 3 men that come in, they drug her, they restrain her, and they all take turns raping her. As they're doing this, the white-haired guy is videotaping this and very blatantly says he's going to use this as blackmail against her. Because of her position as a student counselor, she is terrified that if this video gets released, that her career's over, her life's over, her husband's gonna leave her, her parents are gonna disown her. She just has all these awful thoughts and feelings. Instead of just going to the police or being like, no, fuck you, she does what this guy wants. So she'll go home and shower, cry, and then just decide, like, I need to do what I can to survive this situation. So her brain goes from flight to fight, but it's a very clever fight. So part of the blackmailing that he does is he wants her to sexually please his associates or people that he's having meetings with. So he'll just call her or text her, be like, put on something fancy, put on makeup, get ready, meet me downstairs, or go get in this car downstairs, meet me here. And she does this, and then he will give her dresses or outfits or have someone do her makeup and hair, and then give her to someone to have sex with. She's clever enough, like the first dude. This is awesome. Okay. I literally laughed out loud, and I'm sorry if someone's gonna think this is a spoiler, but I have to share. It is so freaking funny. I died. Like, my husband was looking at me like, why are you laughing like that? Like, it's funny. So for the very first dude she's supposed to sexually service, she's clever enough to convince him to, like, have her do a blowjob, okay? Let's be descriptive and gross. So when she does this, she, like, goes into the bathroom and spits it up, and the blonde-haired guy comes in and is, like, talking shit to her. So she kisses him and, like, sticks her tongue in his mouth. And he's not thinking clearly because he's just like, what are you doing? Why are you kissing me? And she's like, oh, I thought you wanted to taste the guy I just had in my mouth. He gets pissed and he pulls a gun on her. But it's so funny because it's like she just gets that little jab in, like, I'm just made you taste someone else's jizz. Like, go fuck yourself. It is hilarious. There are funny parts in this webtoon. I almost called it a manga. There are funny parts in it. She does do spiteful things, and she does try to finagle his system and his game as much as she can. The thing is when they go into this, it's like he hates her, and she despises him. And I don't blame her. He tried to kill her years ago, and now he has her as like a sex slave that he's, lending out to people. But then somehow she doesn't catch feelings for him. She's very good at faking and pretending towards him, and he catches feelings for her, like obsessive feelings. Like he loves her, and he becomes easily he's very easily manipulated by her. Unfortunately, as weird as this sounds, and I know there's going to be people out there who are going to be like, you're weird, and I will take that criticism, but for me, right now, I'm like 80 some chapters in, and I want the main female character to be with the bad guy. I know it sounds so weird and strange, and it's just not right because he has raped her, but you can see how much he loves her and how much he cares about her and is obsessed with her. And I know he does really shitty things, but I really wish she would get Stockholm Syndrome and have feelings for him and be with him. I know it's weird. I don't get it either. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm not like this with all webtoon or manga that I read that have psychological romance in it. But maybe because she's not falling for it and she's not having those feelings towards him, that might be why I want her to fall in love with him so much more, because she's fighting against it so much and so well. I do think this is a fantastic webtoon so far. Again, I can't thank you, Lynn, more any more than I can right now because it is so good. The artwork isn't necessarily my type of artwork. I don't think it's super beautiful, but I do like the artwork. And the artist does a really good job at kind of transitioning the character, our female character. So when she's with the main male character, most of the time, the female character is drawn very serious with very hard lines, and you can see her facial structure very well. When, in comparison, our main female character is with her husband, her face is drawn more round, more youthful, more happy. So you can see the difference when the wife is with the husband, pretending everything is okay and fine and dandy, and then when she's with the white-haired dude who's trying to control her, and her face is a lot harder, her face has clearer lines, you can tell when she's getting really haggard. The artist does a really good job making just kind of almost simple changes make a huge difference in how you view the characters. Now, this is not complete. This is still ongoing, so I don't know how it ends, but I am very excited to see where it goes because it is so interesting. Now, I really appreciate you guys watching. If you made it this far, damn, I'm impressed because I don't think anyone makes it this far in my videos. But I really appreciate you sticking with me this far if you've actually made it this far. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and that you're not sick like me. And if you have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love any kind of psychological romance you got. You should let me know because I probably want to read it. All right? Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.